Hi, my name is Scuba D, most people just call me Scuba, and today I decided to create a series of guides which will help people with little to no experience in WoW PvP to get into it and have a good time while doing so. This means that if you're anything from a completely new player who hasn't even hit max level yet, someone who's been playing casually for a while and trying to take things more seriously, or even a hardcore PvE raider with no experience with PvP, everyone will get something out of this series. I'm expecting this series to cover all of the basics to help you get off your training wheels, and then a few things to keep in mind when trying to prove yourself further. At the end of this series, you'll know the following things. What is PvP? What are the roles in PvP? Setting keybinds, macros, add-ons, gearing, improving your mechanics, rated battlegrounds, and arena. In this first introductory episode, I'll be covering the basics of what is PvP. Well, as a lot of you probably already know, PvP stands for player versus player. This means that two or more players will be fighting each other. This, under the right circumstances, can be a very fun and rewarding experience for all the people involved. A very common misconception among mostly PvE players is that PvP is a very chaotic and pointless activity. No matter how you feel, this is not true, and many factors and mechanics are behind the workings of PvP, and understanding them all is only part of the fun. Most people who don't play PvP think about random battlegrounds only, with very few taking into account the features of arena and rated battlegrounds. But for now, let's talk about random battlegrounds, so normal battlegrounds as most people know them. A random battleground could be considered to be PvP's version of a 5-man dungeon. Two teams are pitted against each other in a large arena, and the teams must both fight each other to complete objectives to win the match. These objectives can vary from a capture the flag type scenario to king of the hill type scenario, with a few others mixed in. Getting to know the inner workings of each battleground can help improve your experience and also give your team a greater chance of winning. Now, a thing to note, especially if you are new to PvP, random battlegrounds are primarily for farming honor, to practice your new role or your new class, and most importantly, they are to have fun. You'll often see people raging, complaining to their teams or other people about random battlegrounds and how annoying they are, and in most cases, you should avoid paying attention to these people and avoid doing it yourself. If your team is losing, stopping to flame them definitely won't increase your chances of winning. The chances of winning a random battleground can vary greatly, and under most circumstances, a victory or a loss is completely out of your control. In saying this, you yourself though can still affect the outcome. Another thing to note is gear can change your experience in PvP greatly, or in all PvP for that matter. If you have a full set of green gear, obviously you're going to feel like you're doing no damage at all, thanks to the new base resilience added to players. In this case, you should try to improve your mechanics at this point, and try not to pay too much attention to when you die all the time, because it really doesn't matter. After you get some gear on your character, you'll see an obvious improvement in your performance, and if you have been practicing while obtaining that gear, you will be the one getting all the kills by now. Another aspect of PvP is the rated side of it. This is a much more competitive type of PvP, where players will have to make teams themselves and compete in either arena matches, which is a fast-paced match with 2, 3 or 5 players per team. This at first can be very daunting and is considered to be where most of players' skill is judged. You don't have to play arena until you feel ready. Or the other sort of rated PvP is rated battlegrounds, which, as the name implies, is a version of the normal battlegrounds but with a much more competitive atmosphere, and again you can build up rating in this. These two types of PvP will be covered more in depth in a future episode, so stay tuned. Okay, so that's it for this episode. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and stay tuned for the rest of the series. See you guys next time.